Hello, hello, hello. Hannah, are you excited today? Because I certainly am.
I love these European topics. They're just very close to my heart. So I'm very, very excited to talk about France today.
I love it too. I love it too. This is Wednesday. It's my favorite day of the week because we bring to you every Wednesday a perfect destination for you to consider when purchasing real estate, for whether it's investment or for you to go on vacation or whatever the case might be. But Hannah's right. Today we are going to cover France. France is magnificent. When I think of France, I think of all the fashion shows and all the glamour that exists. And I got to play around in that yesterday, which was different. It was out of my comfort zone, you all. But I'm going to tell you what, here's a little secret about Stephanie Gillison. I had a blast. It was so much fun. I literally could switch to being that every single day. I was nervous as hell on my way up, but I fit right in and absolutely loved it. So if you have not taken part in your own modeling portfolio, so to speak, I suggest you do so. So stay tuned because we're going to have some fun shots of me rolling out here very soon, as well as on airdomo.com. Aren't we, Hannah?
Oh, yeah. And I'm excited for the world to see those because we found out yesterday that Stephanie's a supermodel, actually. And the photos look amazing.
Now
So I'm
everybody's
so
going to
excited for
tune in.
everyone.
Yeah,
Yep, everyone's
absolutely.
going to see them for sure and be like, okay, this is who I want selling me real estate.
Absolutely.
But yeah, talking about France, I'm very excited because France is kind of that evergreen, always cool, always in trend country. It's one of the most visited countries in the world. It attracts nearly 90 million tourists
Crazy.
annually. It creates a huge demand for short-term rentals and holiday homes. So, as an investment, I think that it's completely a no-brainer.
Oh, and it
It is home to some of,
screams luxury, doesn't it? Just screams it.
oh yeah, oh, yeah. When you think of Paris, city of love, city of light, but then there's this whole other part of France, which is in the south, the French Riviera and the
Mm.
Provence. It's amazing, close to Monaco, can't go
Oh,
wrong with that.
that screams moolah, which is a word you haven't heard in a very long time.
Absolutely.
I
Oh
love
my
the
goodness.
diversity in France. I love the diverse geography from the skiing, right? The alpine ski chalets to the Mediterranean seaside villas and the Bordeaux vineyards. I mean, you've got everything when you think of France, which is what makes it cool. And I don't know, I forgot to count the exact amount, but we've got over 36 properties on airdomo.com in France, which is why we wanted to bring France to you today. So I'm excited about this. Really am.
Exactly. So we have, like you said, over 30 properties on Airdomo that are in France, and some of them are by the beach, and some of them are the ski chalets that are beautiful. And that's exactly what I like about France. Like you said, you get the best of both worlds, right? If you have
Mhm.
real estate there, you can enjoy it in the summer, you can enjoy it in the winter. It's pretty amazing.
It is. That it is.
Awesome. So we can talk about France's diverse geography, which is exactly what we said now. They have the Alpine ski chalets, they have the Mediterranean seaside villas, the Bordeaux vineyards, which are also very, very important. We love a good wine. It offers just a wide range of investment opportunities. So let's talk about that. Stephanie, what makes France such an appealing destination for property investors worldwide?
Well, I think that, the prestige, right? We know about the prestige of France and we know about the stability as a real estate market there. It's just rich in culture, global tourism appeal. You said it, over 90 million visitors each and every year. The diverse landscapes you just mentioned, it makes it so attractive for lifestyle buyers. And at that same time, their strong legal system, their well-established property markets and global reputation for luxury ensure long-term value. So international demand, especially in Paris, the Riviera and the Provence, continues to drive prices and rental yields up. So you can't go wrong. And like you said, there is something for everyone when it comes to geography. Whether you want to surf or ski, you've got that opportunity.
Exactly. So I really want to talk about the rules and requirements with foreign investors and what they need to understand before buying property in France. But I do want to say that I know non-EU buyers can invest in property freely because France has really strong legal protections for real estate transactions, which makes it very safe and transparent for investors, right?
That's correct. Foreigners face no major restrictions when buying property in France, but should be aware of the following. So let's talk about taxes and fees. Expect a 7 to 10% tax of the purchase price in notary fees, and that transfer tax. Wealth tax may also apply to certain properties above a certain threshold, okay? But that's upfront, and that's that one-time tax. It's not like the US where we keep getting that every single year thereafter, okay? Financing. Non-residents can apply for French mortgages, though requirements are stricter than the local buyers, okay? So mortgage, it's available, a little bit more restrict, okay? And that's where Erdomo comes into play, because we can set you up with those relationships and make sure we get you a viable option for those financing opportunity. Now, residency, okay? We've talked a lot about countries that give you residency when you purchase there. Now, buying property in France does not automatically grant you residency, but long-term visas and residence permits can be obtained separately, okay? There are visitor and live-in visas that allow you to work in country, and they need to be renewed every single year, okay? This is a great investment opportunity for those that want to invest, that want to have income, but it may not be that opportunity to buy and stay, okay? Short-term staying is that viable option. Does that make sense, Hannah?
Yeah, totally. This basically means that you wouldn't be purchasing a second home that you would be living in per se throughout the whole year, but this is that lifestyle purchase because what do you want to do? You want to chill in your one home and then, oh, it's winter time. Let's go ski in the French Alps.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, let's go
Or it's
stay a
time
month
for
or
the
two.
Exactly. Or it's time for the Monaco race. Great. Monaco is 45 minutes from Nice. So it's very, very lifestyle oriented and it's a niche country. There's a certain type of people that enjoy France and I love it.
Yeah. And that's why people do this. And again, the high income, there's with 90 million people touring the state or the country, you are always going to have renters. So buying property for investment and also for your own enjoyment is a great option for France.
Yes. So let's talk about those top areas for real estate purchases. Which parts of France would be those?
Well, obviously, the prime locations are Paris, the French Riviera. But, with Paris, you get that global hub for the culture, business, and luxury apartments with high long-term demand. People love to go to Paris. We all know that. They love that city life. There's plenty to see, the museums, everything around Paris. But the French Riviera is known for glamorous villas and high-end holiday homes. That's attracting the wealthy international buyers. Provence, it's famous for its countryside estates, the vineyards, and that relaxed lifestyle. So if you like wine, that's where you're going to be headed. And then the Alps, it's popular for the ski chalets and seasonal rental income for those winter months, because that's what you're doing there. You're going skiing. Bordeaux and the Loire Valley, it's attractive also for the vineyards and heritage estates. So a lot more wineries there as well too. And properties with acreage, properties with rolling green land and privacy is also there. So there's a lot of options. And like we talked about, France is diverse when it comes to all the geography. So there's something for everyone.
Absolutely. I mean, you had me at wine, but sure, I can ski as well.
Not with
Definitely
the
there.
wine, though, Hannah. I don't want you, wine, drinking the wine and going down the slope. Okay.
Okay, I'll try not to. So the property market trends, always such an interesting topic when we talk about countries. Which trends should investors be paying attention to in France?
Well, definitely, you've got to pay attention for the strong demand for luxury and trophy assets. Trophy assets in Paris and the Riviera. People are like, what the heck's a trophy asset, Stephanie? Trophy assets are those properties that you just can't really own everywhere. Maybe it's a castle, maybe it's a sweet penthouse that you just can't duplicate. Maybe it's part of history. Maybe it's that grandiose winery or a villa. Trophy assets are sometimes out of reach for quite a few people. But if you can put it together, and maybe a group of you can put it together, they are going to yield a lot in rental. Okay. I sold a property one time in another country that was a trophy asset. And that's exactly what they did with it, is they turned this property. It was built in 1716 into one of the best short-term rentals. And so it became more of that hospitality asset, but still kept its historical value and that trophy asset class. But there's also rising interest in countryside estates post-pandemic, okay? With more buyers seeking space and second homes, that is definitely rising with countryside. There's also a growing focus on energy efficiency and sustainable properties. That is going to be across all EU. It's just, it's in line with all of the European Union regulations. Also an increasing popularity of short-term rentals in tourist-heavy cities and resort towns. 90 million visitors every single year. You are always going to have clientele. So you don't have to worry about saying, if I buy this property in France, am I going to be able to rent it? The answer is yes, you will.
The answer is always yes when it comes to a country like this that no one ever gets tired of. There's always going to be someone who needs your place to stay there, definitely. My favorite topic each Wednesday is definitely when we start talking about the ROI. So the return on investment, always so important for all our investors. How can they maximize value of their property investment when it comes to France?
Well, I think you definitely want to focus on the obvious, okay? Purchase in what's globally recognized, the hotspots, Paris, the Riviera, or Provence. That is where demand has always remained strong, and it has remained strong for decades over decades, okay? And it's not going to go anywhere. We're not going to wake up tomorrow or even 30 years from now, and Paris is going to not be a cool hot spot for any of us to go to or want to get proposed to under the Eiffel Tower, right? It's always going to be in demand. Targeting properties with tourism potential for use of holiday rentals. Look, people want to go to France and celebrate all the different holidays. And when you start thinking about, the diversification of people around the entire globe, there's more than just Christmas and Easter and Thanksgiving that we celebrate in the US. There's a ton of other religions out there that are celebrating those holidays. And so that encompasses all of those as well. All right. Exploring renovation opportunities in heritage or countryside estates for long-term appreciation. You can have an opportunity to take a villa or a countryside estate and turn it into one of those trophy assets. Maybe it is one of those castles, right, that was abandoned 100 years ago, and it's got such great potential. With the right purchase and the right contractors, you have an opportunity. And so, don't write that off. And that's what we here at Airdomo help you do. You got to work with reputable people. All right. We've got to work and make sure that you're having a smooth transaction. We want to make sure that you are not being conned. We want to make sure that you're protected the entire way through, from finding the property, from transacting the property, from renovating that property. That is what we're here to do. And then also, consider the sustainability, focused upgrades, eco-compliance. Obviously, it's increasingly important with the French property market. That's across all of the European Union. So anything eco-compliance, you're going to have benefits. There's going to be incentives in those brackets as well too. So there's so much, which this is why I'm so excited that there's so many opportunities on airdomo.com for you to experience France. And, don't look at this as, oh yeah, right, like I'm never going to own a property in France. No, I want you to look at this as your opportunity to say, you know what? I want to diversify my portfolio. I can own property in France, and I can make a phenomenal return on my investment. So, Hannah, I love it. I'm so excited we chose France. This was your idea, and I'm thrilled, excited, and I think this was just a great wealth of information today.
Yes, it's one of the greatest countries we talked about for sure. I am excited for next week as well. We are going to talk about something a bit more tropical. We're going to go into St. Lucia. We've covered St. Lucia before, but now we got new information and new properties coming from St. Lucia. So I'm very, very excited for next week. Same time, same place.
Thanks you, everybody. See you.
Bye.